Hello and welcome to the Long Island Weather Update. It is 10 o'clock on May 13th. And unfortunately today did not turn out as nice as I was hoping. We had a lot of clouds around and looking at the MODIS satellite, which is where we're going to start. We just had these clouds just pop over the whole, like this stick of clouds. It just was with us for much of the day, so it really wasn't too nice of a day. It was partly sunny to mostly cloudy for much of the day. And there was clear sky, though, off to the west, but for some reason we just had this. I don't know what the hell this was. Just popped up over us, like an instability trough or whatever. It wasn't even over Connecticut. It wasn't over the Mid-Atlantic either, but it was over just the whole tri-state area, pretty much. Looking at the satellite, you can see this is the next storm system we're going to have to deal with. You can see it over here, another big storm system again. And you can see a little bit of wildfire smoke here going over the northern Great Lakes. I think it's going to stay to the north of us, much of the smoke, but you can see we definitely have wildfires going on right now. It looks like once again in the Northwest Territories and also in, this looks like British Columbia over here, and some maybe in Alberta too as well. So unfortunately we're getting an early start to the wildfire season, and it's going to be a bad one, even though you see there's still ice up here. This area of Canada where all the forests are going to have a lot of problems. And we'll be dealing with the smoke on and off probably this whole summer. Looking at the current satellite, you can see the skies have cleared up a bit. Of course, the sunset, the skies cleared. It'll show you what the skies look like today. We had, again, the sky started breaking up. We had the altocumulus around. Sky started breaking up, I guess, around 5 o'clock or so. 4:30, 5 o'clock. We had, again, some of this altocumulus around. Though it was kind of pretty at times, like it was mixing with the sun. And then we had this effect, which was very strange. We had like a halo, but you couldn't see it because if you look directly at the sun, there's no way you could see it, so you have to put something in the way of it. There was like a halo around the sun, which was kind of strange. I had to put like a building in front of it or something, but yeah, it was pretty cool, actually. And there's another look at it. You can see, again, there's that halo that we had. And then later on in the day, again, we still had some pretty clouds at sunset here. But other than that, let's get to what we got going on outside right now, our current conditions. And across the country, you can see we still have those air quality alerts in effect looks like Minnesota and Wisconsin for the wildfire smoke. One lone severe thunderstorm warning in Montana. We got a severe thunderstorm watch. Got some watches in the south and flash flood advisories and warnings because they're dealing with some thunderstorms right now. We'll go to our area. Nothing going on yet as far as watches or warnings go. It is pleasantly cool out there, 54 degrees. We had a pleasantly cool day. Of course, I've got 1,000,001 fans going, just trying to get the temperature to drop below the low 70s in this place. Because again, that alley is just so warm. It's just ridiculous. It's such a nice cool breeze, but you can't get it in here. It's just. But you can see temperatures are looking at the day at ISO, temperatures in the mid 50s right now, and during the day we got up into the mid 60s. But we did have, you see, all that cloud cover that we had there. So look at the map here. Look at our highs and lows. See temperatures generally in the mid 50s. Only the city holding on to the heat, and pretty much everyone's dropped into the mid 50s. Let's go look at our highs today. And our highs got up into the mid 60s across Long Island, as well as New York City. And then, of course, Jersey, a little bit warmer in the southern half of Jersey, got up into the low 70s there. Lows 34 at West Hampton, so there was some good radiational cooling. Other than that, lows were in the mid 40s, and again, good amount of radiational cooling in the Pine Barrens area of New Jersey as well, with a lot of 30s there. Of course, I didn't get that in my alley, of course, but no, never. Looking at the weather map now, you see we got this whole big complex of low-pressure systems that are going to come and affect our area starting late tomorrow night through Wednesday and perhaps into Thursday as well. Looking at some of the model runs, it was very, very depressing. Let's go to the CONUS satellite loop. And again, you can see all that severe weather in the south along the Gulf there. Probably a lot of lightning strikes. We can look at the lightning. Oh, yeah, look at that. So, yeah, they're getting some pretty big thunderstorms here in the south. And, again, going to our weather and hazards map, we can show you that in the south, we have a lot of big severe thunderstorm watch. Let's just take the watches out of the thing, and let's just do severe weather warnings. So it looks like we got a number of flash flood warnings and a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings as well in the south, because you have this just very juicy air. Yeah, very humid air coming right out of the Gulf of Mexico, so it's creating a lot of... and then you have the storm system over here, of course. Now if we look in the... look in Wisconsin here, let's see if we still have smoke being reported. The visibility is back up to 10 miles, it looks like. Let's see what it was earlier. I think it was probably worse. Let's see. No, I'm just seeing 10 miles visibility here, so I guess the smoke was maybe more aloft over there. Let's try Minneapolis, because I know they had it there. I know they had smoke there, so let's see what they have there. Yeah, there's some haze being reported here. Being reported there, smoke, haze, and then they had it yesterday, too, on and off. So it's going to stay to the north, though, I think, for now. For now, at least. But, we're going to be dealing with it at some point this summer. So let's actually go to the Canadian, the northern... Actually, can we do the Alaska view? I think Alaska might actually show some of this. Oh, yeah. Yes, kind of shows it up very nicely. Look at this satellite here. Yeah, those are huge fire in northeastern British Columbia right now. That's a huge fire right there. You can tell right there. Look at all that smoke. It's only just begun with this, unfortunately. So let's go to the Storm Prediction Center, and you can see we've got that, yep. JFK arrival again. I don't know if my mic can pick that up or not. But, so we have just a slight risk in the south here. Nothing crazy, and not much of a tornado risk. It's mainly, severe thunderstorms. Actually, there were 6, does that say 6? It does say 6 tornadoes reported today, so there were some tornadoes with this. And it just disappeared, so I don't know what happened here. This just screwed up what happened here. Overview. I wanted to go to the next page, and then it didn't. But mainly the severe weather is going to be concentrated in the south. It's not going to be like what we had before, but yeah, you can see there's a small enhanced area there. Let's see. There we go. We got it back. And then we go to day 2, and then that kind of moves to the southeast. A little bit, and then just nothing for our area as far as severe weather goes for tomorrow. Looking at the radar, let's go to that, and you can see, yeah, wildfire smoke again is back, creating unhealthy air in the northern U.S., and it could spread farther throughout the week. So we'll have to look at some of the smoke models and see what happens. Look at those. I'll look at those toward the end of this weather update, but smoke's going to be the least of our... We're going to be dealing with a lot more rain than smoke, I think. You can see there's some showers and thunderstorm activity up in the Great Lakes, some through the Mississippi River area, and then the worst of it, though, definitely looks like it's in Louisiana right now, and some nasty storms also in Texas, and some in Florida as well. Power outages, let's go to that and see if these storms have caused any power outages. Oh, they sure have. Louisiana has been heavily affected. Oh my gosh, look at this. So it looks like they've had some, they could have had some straight line wind damage and possibly tornado damage in these storms. And then Texas and Florida also being hit hard also by the severe weather. But that's where it's going to stay for the most part. We're not going to have to deal with any severe weather, just as Joe Chaffee puts it, gloom and doom weather. He coined that phrase, not me, but it sucks. He seems to think it's normal for May. It's not. It's normal for April, but not so much for May. That's what's changed. We used to have very nice weather in May, but now May is like an extension of April now. So let's go look at the models here. We first got the GFL. Oh, before I do that, let's go to the climate records for our area. High of 64 and a low of 42 at Islip. 6 degrees below normal for the day. Central Park, high of 65 and a low of 49. 5 degrees below normal for the day. So temperatures will warm up briefly tomorrow. So let's go look at our GFS outlook here, and you see that high pressure moving offshore. Start seeing showers develop mainly inland tomorrow, and then here comes this slow, lumbering low-pressure system. And it looks like the first part of your Wednesday won't be too bad. The rain is going to wait until a little bit later. Now, actually, this is a change from the 12Z run. It actually suppressing it even more. And it actually has Wednesday being probably just light rain, and then has heavier rain coming in on perhaps Thursday. And then the slows kind of take its time and sit there. And then as we get into Friday, maybe there's a break. And then here comes the next system for the weekend. That's also going to sit there and take its time moving along. It's just unbelievable. Then another system. I'm not even going to get into next week here. Let's go look at the 12Z GFS, because we all know how the 18Z can be a little bit off. So let's look at the 12Z. And the 12Z also indicates this idea that low. The 12Z actually has it suppressed far enough that we don't really see much rain at all from this thing. That would be nice. And then we have a little bit of a backdoor high building in for Friday, and then here comes Saturday might be dry, but then as we get towards Saturday night into Sunday, here comes the next system with more rain. Though none of it particularly heavy. We won't have like flooding rains or anything like that. It's just going to be more of a gloomy type of deal. All right. Let's go look at some of the other models here. We're going to go look at the Icon model as well. And I'll just use the 18Z. Right? Well, let's stick with the 12Z here. All right, so here's the 12Z, and let's see what it does here with this system. And again, it's suppressing it, so there's more suppression showing, but then we have to deal with another system perhaps. Maybe that one will get suppressed too. If that backdoor high is stronger, it might push all of these to the south, which would be great. So at least we don't have to deal with the rain. But it could still be cloudy and gloomy and perhaps dealing with some drizzle with that kind of setup. Let's look at the European AI. So here's the European AI. Again, the resolution's kind of low with this. Very low. It has the rain kind of overspreading our area. But it does have that low. They're all showing this suppression thing going on. So let's now look at some of the short-range models now that you have some of the idea of that. We'll go back to the we'll go to the HRRR. See what the HRRR is going to do with this. So here's the HRRR, and for tomorrow, we're mostly dry. It does develop some showers and thunderstorms, mainly to the west of the Hudson tomorrow. And then as we head into Wednesday, you can see it's keeping that rain off to the south. It doesn't really bring it in until later in the day. As we get toward the evening, then we start seeing that rain kind of rotate in with this low pressure that's just off the coast, just crawling along, barely moving at all. But this scenario doesn't really... It keeps us mostly dry until we get toward later Wednesday. So that's the good news. It looked like Wednesday was going to be a washout, and now it doesn't look like it's going to be a washout. Because I have somewhere I got to be Wednesday morning, and I don't want to have to go in the heavy rain. It's a doctor appointment, so I don't want to have to go in the heavy rain. And it's not exactly in a easy-to-get-to area. So anyway, let's go look at the dew points and wind flow here. And you'll see that the air will moisten up as we get in tomorrow, sticking with that south to southwest flow tomorrow. And then that turns, as we get into Wednesday, it turns more easterly, but the air isn't terribly dry. So with the concern we have, of course, is that it meanwhile might not be raining, there may be annoying drizzle around given the moisture levels in the air. And you'll see there's some wind with this low too as well. Looking at our temperatures, tomorrow will probably be with the one day we might be able to have a chance of getting above normal. Not going to drop that much tonight, probably low 50s, given the cloud cover. Now, tomorrow is going to be warmer than today. Probably 70s in New Jersey, maybe parts of New York City, and maybe low 70s on the North Shore, central Nassau. That's indicating that we will have some sunshine, I guess, perhaps. And the temperatures don't drop much tomorrow night. And then it will be, even Wednesday, it's showing temperatures perhaps near 70 still. So that's kind of interesting to see. Originally, it looked like Wednesday was going to turn out to be very chilly with that easterly flow, but now it's suggesting temperatures in the 65 to 70 degree range, which is very interesting. This is the HRRR model, so I have to look at some of the other models. Now, as far as cloud cover goes tomorrow, there will be increasing levels of clouds tomorrow. We'll look at a sounding here, and we'll show you that we'll probably have a lot of high clouds, probably, so a lot of jet chunk in the air, perhaps. Though it is showing the lines somewhat separated, and as we go later in the afternoon, they kind of grow closer together, I think, as the cloud amounts increase. Yes, they do. So we'll see more of that. But, yeah, very interesting. Kind of interesting that this is getting suppressed a little more, which is good news, at least for us. At least that's what the models are showing. Let's go to the GFS now, and we will go and look at our temperatures. So we'll just go stick at the temperatures here and show you on the GFS. Again, showing that warmer air for tomorrow. And, again, showing warmth over Long Island. This could indicate not raining, not drizzling conditions. Though we would have a pretty decent cloud deck. But, you're not going to have drizzle in 70s. So it's kind of interesting to see that. And then Thursday, that's when we have to deal with more of the rain now. So it's kind of pushed it off to Thursday. You can see the signature of the rain right there. And then as we get to Friday, it kind of recovers a little bit. So let's look at, mainly focused on this week. I'm not going to talk too much about the weekend here. Let's look and see what total accumulated precip is the GFS is giving us. And you can see most of it's just off to the south, out actually over the ocean. And I think the 12Z runs even drier. Yeah, look at that. So isn't that interesting? Let's see what the Euro AI is giving us. Not really that much either. It's giving us a quarter of an inch. Most of it stays off to the west. So that's a sign of that blocking, that high, that backdoor high that's building down and trying to push the precipitation off to the southwest. That's what we're seeing here. Let's go to the NAM3. And I know I don't have the full 0Z run in. Let's check the 18Z run out as far as it goes. And it's not showing much rainfall as of midnight Thursday. Not showing much at all. So let's go to this. And again, you see that high, that suppression there going on. So the NAM does have a couple of breakaway showers tomorrow night. And then maybe some showers throughout on Wednesday. Not very scattered. But it really doesn't have nearly as much moisture as some of these models are indicating. You know what I want to see? Let's go back to the eastern U.S. view. I'm going to go to the GFS, and I want to use that 700 to 300 humidity. Or it's over here. 700 to 300. There we go. All right, let's look at this and see. So we're looking for the dark greens, and you can see the dark greens are over us on Wednesday. They are over us, which would indicate rain. But for whatever reason, the surface is not showing it. So that's kind of interesting. There's kind of a disparity here as to what's going on in the atmosphere, in my opinion. So if you see this, you'd think, oh, that's a lot of rain there. But maybe there's just not a lot of lift or something going on. Let's go to the FGen. I'm trying to figure out the models, what the models are doing right now, what they're thinking. Yeah, the lift is mainly off to the south, so there may be moisture, but they may not be enough to actually get it to actually lift and do something. So we'll have to see if this trend continues, but maybe it's looking a little bit better and not quite as miserable for Wednesday. I'm hoping that at least we can do that. But let's go to the cloud cover because there will be plenty of clouds, obviously, regardless. Tomorrow, increasing clouds. Wednesday, showing a lot of clouds. Thursday, maybe a break or two, plenty of clouds. Friday, tries to clear out, but still dealing with the clouds. And obviously, more clouds for Saturday. If you want any nice sunny days, the GFS isn't really showing much of anything. I can look at the 12Z run as well. I don't even want to go beyond to the weekend here, but you get the idea here that we're going to have plenty of clouds around, though it does try to clear them out late Thursday night and then brings them back in for Friday. We'll go to the RGEM cloud cover forecast. Kind of curious to look at the RGEM's forecast as well with precipitation. I don't normally do that, but see plenty of high clouds tomorrow. It'll be a pretty junky looking sky. It'll be some filtered sunshine, a lot of jet chunk. And then obviously the clouds thicken. And then Wednesday we're stuck in the clouds. And then Thursday we're stuck in the clouds. You can see it kind of has the low. Now the RGEM is a worser case scenario because it has that low cutting off close to us and that would keep us in more of a wet flow. So if we look at the RGEM, see how the models are just making they're all none of them are agreeing with it, and that's what's making it tough. So the RGEM here brings in the rain later Wednesday afternoon, and it has it lingering throughout much of Thursday as it tapers off to light rain and drizzle. So they're all over the place because the jet stream, the thing that the models use to tell us what the weather is going to be like, the jet stream. I know this is not going to show it, but we can look at the jet stream here. We'll go ahead there. This. Let's find it. Where is it? The jet stream's kind of in a weird pattern. So you can see what happens here. It gets driven very far to the south. There's a very weak flow, and you see it's a split flow. So we've had this situation all freaking year long, all winter long. Here's your Pacific jet that just doesn't want to stop. It's relentless. And then you have this weak northern jet that's just really almost barely there. So it's kind of really making for hard to forecast situations, basically. So you're depending on these like almost mesoscale surface features like backdoor highs and stuff to, affect the weather, and that's what makes it really hard. So let's go look at some more models here. We're going to go to the windy.com model because, again, European model. All right, what's new? Okay, leave me alone. Close that. We can look at the windy.com model and show I can do rain accumulation. All right, so we can go next 5 days. And it's not really showing all that much, maybe a half an inch. Showing a little more over New Jersey, a lot more over Suffolk County. That's next 5 days. What are the next 3 days? Next 3 days is not showing much at all. So let's go and now look at the, because I need this model to show us the visibility, kind of show where there could be that damn drizzle that we may have to deal with. So let's go to that. Find the drizzle. Where is it? Visibility. This is it. So obviously we're fine today, fine tomorrow. And as we get into Wednesday, it's even showing not too many restrictions to visibility. But as we get into, even later in the Wednesday, it has it. But then what happens is, as we get into Thursday, it's going to have this drizzle around all day Thursday. And even into Friday, we're still going to be dealing with this drizzle. And even into Saturday, we're still dealing with it. Maybe some. So this is some of these could be actual showers here for Saturday. But this model here, which is using, I think, the European model, is showing a lot of drizzle. Now, this feature is only available on the European. They're all grayed out for the drizzle factor here. So just because, there may be people saying, maybe we're not going to get a soaker, but we're going to be dealing with a lot of day after day of sucky drizzle. And you know how much I hate that stuff. So we'll have to see. I'm hoping this is wrong. But because if you go to precipitation here, all right, this is 4 p.m. Let's go to precipitation. Not really showing a whole lot of rain. It's just showing light rain and drizzle. So that's what it has. If you go to the precipitation, you see that. It has more of the precipitation on Thursday, Friday, but then even Saturday we're still dealing with light rain and drizzle and east wind. So this is what the European is painting for us. Not a very nice picture at all. So this is going to be a tough situation with this forecast. It's rarely do I say it's hard for me to say what's going to happen, but I'm going to tell you, it's hard for me to say what's going to happen. There's a fine line between that low moving far enough to the south and just getting cloudy skies. This is the cloud output here. It's really a fine line between that and dealing with the drizzle. But given the amount of moisture in the air, it wouldn't surprise me that we're going to be dealing with sucky drizzle, especially if that low parks there. You can see we got this high. Look at that. If you're over in Pennsylvania, you're going to have a sunny weather. You should go to Pennsylvania. But get out of it, at least. And it kind of backs up a little bit on Friday, you can see. But, yeah, this is it could be quite a miserable stretch of days. Not necessarily a soaker, but, again, I don't know if this is the operational, the AI that it's using here, as far as the European model goes. But there are, the models have different opinions of certain things here. Lastly, let me go to the smoke model. That's the last thing we'll talk about, obviously. So one more decent day tomorrow, and then, if you don't have any plans to get outside, do it tomorrow, because after tomorrow, it could suck for quite a number of days. So let's go to the smoke model, which is the RAP, which is the one we use when we're dealing with Canada. And I believe they have a long run at 0Z. They have a long run? No. Not 0Z. I think I keep forgetting which ones are the long runs. Is it 23? One of them is... I'm going to have to just go through them. It's the 21Z run. So let's go look at this vertically integrated smoke map here, and we'll see where this smoke is heading. Let's see. So I don't think it's going to come down. I really don't. Looks like it's staying up there for now. Yeah, it looks like it's staying up in Canada for now. So I don't think we'll be dealing with any smoke, but we're going to be dealing with a lot of drizzle, perhaps. So the potential for drizzly misery is definitely there as we get into the later part of the week. So that's going to wrap up this Long Island weather update. Have a good night.